Alright guys, we're back out here today after a hot day's mowing. Just got all my chores done, I guess you would say. And I'm out here on the river. Don't have a lot of time, so I have packed super light. I have my ultralight here. A small backpack with only one lure. That lure is Nikko Hellgrammite. If you haven't seen my other videos on it, this thing is the bomb, just because it is a super durable, realistic looking lure. And for me, it is like smallmouth candy. Now you can fish this multiple ways with jig head or Texas rig. There's all kinds of possibilities, but in one of my last videos I had a subscriber tell me the best way to fish the kind of rivers like I fish that have all this hang up open gap rock like that. He said that he has found that the best way to fish it is on a straight shank hook through the belly like so, and a small weight. Now for those of you that don't know it, this lure floats. I don't know if you can see it, but see how he's standing up? I'm just going to raise my lure up, and we're going to kind of fish this kind of like trout fishing. This is a very similar method. I've got my split shot just a few inches above. We're going to toss it out, see what we can make happen, guys. We only have about an hour to fish. I'd love to catch 2 or 3 for you guys real quick. That would be awesome. Now I'm just going to let that sink to the bottom. It's pretty rocky all throughout here. We've got some lay down over there. Water's not moving too fast, so I can actually put a little time into working this lure. Basically all I'm going to do is hop that lure across the bottom. I'm just jigging it up and down because I do not want to settle in between these big rocks and get hung up. I have an exposed hook, and that's just going to cause us to lose our rig. Alright guys, we got our first hit. Something was interested in that, but we missed. So now I've got my camera rolling. We're going to throw back up here and see if we can entice this fish to fully commit. Real subtle bite though. So it could have been a rock bass, but I'm hoping it's a beautiful North Fork smallie. I'm telling you, the bronze smallies in this river are just to die for. They're gorgeous. Oh, messed up again. I actually saw that and swim away. That looked like a rock bass. It seemed to be laying right here in this center channel, right after that rock. It's probably breaking the current for him. Let's make a large cast or a long cast out towards that log over there. Looks like a good place to lay up. Kind of wait for your meal to come downstream. Once again, I'm just hopping this along ever so lightly, constantly keeping contact with that lure. It's kind of working itself down with the current. Up, up, up. Got him. Let's see what we got. Oh, rock bass. Yeah, buddy. These little boogers get big here as well in the North Fork. I've seen people catch some very nice rock bass, red eye, whatever you want to call it. Hillbilly bass. So many nicknames for this feller. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna let you go. Just want to get a picture. Look at that chunky little thing. Something's bit him. Looks like. Or he's got a leech. Let's let him go. Thank you for the opportunity, buddy. Alright, guys. Man. It's got to be a rock bass, but I have been smacked hard twice now, but just cannot get whatever it is to commit. Alright guys, I've straightened my lure out. I'm telling you guys, this thing is so durable. You can just about fish it a couple hundred times and it still be durable enough to put back in the pack. That's rethreading it on the hook and all. It's just such a very well made bait. I love it. It's one of my most favorite things to fish the river with. That is the Nikko Hellgrammite. Now they make a ton of cool products. I'll put a link in the description below so you can see exactly what it is that I have here. They had a shortage going on during COVID. I got lucky. I was able to get 5 packs of the 3 or 4 main colors that I love. There's the natural, there's the June bug, and the green pumpkin. I love all 3 of them. They're amazing to fish with. This little booger come right up to the bank as I was reeling it in. Didn't have much time to turn my camera on, but he's a catch nonetheless. Another rock bass. That could be the aggressive little booger that's been nibbling on it. Easy. Give me a second, I'll set you loose. The booger's got some sharp spines. Alright, smile for the camera. Little dink. Alright, where's Big Mama? Dang, something nailed it. And I missed it. Oh man, that sucks. That felt good too. Let's see if we can get back over where he was at. That was a pretty good cast. I don't know if I could duplicate it. But my line just took off running towards me. I tried reeling it up as fast as I could to catch up to the fish and then try to set the hook, but either he had dropped it or yanked it right out of his mouth. Ooh, got him. Oh, another rock bass, I bet. He's coming in without too much of a fight. These little boogers are fun. Look at him, he choked that. I don't even see where we hooked him at. Got him right in that bottom jaw. Oop. Pretty nice. Let's let him go. I do not think that that was the one that smashed it a few seconds ago. I'm gonna try a cast or 2 more before I gotta go. Missed the hook set, guys, but heck yeah, we actually got a, I believe it's a smallie. Look at him fighting there. Oh, he flung it. He jumped and he flung it. That stinks. I'd love to got that one for you guys. Hopefully I caught that on film and you could see it. Just gonna adjust my Hellgrammite. We didn't have him really that good. That's reassuring though. Let me know that there's a few bass stacked up in here. Could have sworn I saw one shining out there. The water's picked up a little bit, but we'll give her a few more tries. See what we can find. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you once again, this is what I'm using. These are Hellgrammites made by the Nikko company, Nikko. These are an amazing product. They are hard to get. They're not within the United States, if I'm not mistaken, at least last I checked. So they do have to be shipped, and they're made in Japan. These are super strong, super elastic. I've been using this one here for a couple of hours. I've caught 3 or 4 fish, and I've been hung up 2 or 3 times off camera. I always cut that part out, but I've almost broke off twice trying to get loose from a limb. And these things, they take a beating. As long as you retie, whenever you fray that line, the chances are that you are going to save this lure. It is just super durable. The materials are amazing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can stretch these things out. They can take a beating. Now I've readjusted this hook several times as well. Most of you know, if you're using like a worm or something like that, 9 times out of 10, all those adjustments create a bunch of wormholes, and then eventually the head will break off of that worm. Not these Nikko baits. These Nikko baits are designed to last. Let's talk a little bit more about how I'm working this lure. As you can see, I've got it rigged up here. I've corrected the hook setting. I've got my sinker about 10 to 12 inches above. I'm taking a good swing with this. This flexible tip rod really lets me get a good cast out there, which is all we really need on such short distance of bank. Now all I'm doing is casting upstream. You can see those bubbles, the current's moving pretty good. We had a good storm come through. Now I'm just letting that lure float along the river. Now that sinker is slowly pulling down on the actual Hellgrammite, and it's working it towards the bottom. And all I'm doing is just kind of hopping it back away from the current. That gives me the ability to feel the lure. I can kind of feel what we're bouncing around there on the bottom. And it's going to be a lot of stuff like this. Big rocks, little pieces of branches and limbs washed down the stream. That much we can see. And I'm just slowly hopping it back to me. Every now and then I'll reel in some slack and I'll work it back to me. I'll reel in some slack and I'll work it back to me. Whoop, got a little hang up, looks like. That's really all there is to it, guys. Alright guys, we've switched up locations. We're further downstream, and I've switched up the way I've rigged my Nikko rig here, this Hellgrammite. I actually have it Texas rigged now. I got it barely skin hooked there. Still got about the same presentation, but the weight of that hook makes this sink a little bit faster. So I'm having to work this lure a little bit faster. I'm just constantly hopping and drawing in the line as I go through. As you can see, there's a lot of big rock and stuff like that in the bottom of this river, especially this section here near the boat ramp. So if I'm not constantly moving that lure and pulling it along, it's going to get hung up down in them rocks. So just a little bit different style technique we're using here. And I don't know if you guys can see it. You might be able to once I get right up here. Do you see that presentation? I don't know if you could see my lure there. But this is kind of what it looks like. Just jerking and hopping it and pausing. Just makes it look like a natural Hellgrammite out in the wild. That looks really good too, going across the bottom. We ought to be able to entice another fish or two, I would hope, before we gotta head out. We got about an hour, guys, so let's keep moving. Got one. Oh, come on, don't fling it. Stay down. What we got here? We got us a little bass finally. Well, we do. Boy, he's a little fighter too. Look at that. Got us a bronze back smallie. Norfolk. Look at the pretty colors on this feather. Oh. Well, he's gone. Self-release. Oh man, that was good. What we got here? Rock bass? He took it and he started swimming to me, so I didn't have a clue he was on there until I went to reel in. Ouch. Give me just a second, bud. I'm gonna set you loose. Yep. Look at that red eye. He's mad at me. Let's let him go. Guys, it's been a fun day. We've caught quite a few fish. It's just one of my favorite things to do out here on the river. Small streams like this, especially a hot day. You got a real rocky bottom, natural habitat for Hellgrammites. I just cannot emphasize how much this lure just truly does work.